What's going on, guys? It's Rolly Rel here, and it's my first YouTube video. I'm going to be coming at you with a self-haircut tutorial. So today I'm going to be showing you the tools you need and the steps you want to take if you want to do a self-haircut. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do a skin taper, which is the haircut I'm doing right now, but these steps can be followed to do any type of haircut, any type of fade. It's just going to be on different parts of the head using the same techniques. I'm going to start off by showing you the tools you're going to need to get this haircut done. I'm going to try to keep it as simple and as basic as possible because I'm not even a barber myself. And I want to make this easy for someone that's never picked up clippers a day in their life to be able to go and cut your own hair. I know right now we can't get into the barber. This is also a good way to save money and stay fresh in between those barber visits. So anyways, what you're going to need is a few different clippers. You're going to need a fading clipper. When I say fading clipper, I mean a clipper that's got a lever that can be adjusted, because that's going to do the majority of your fading to get those guidelines out. Throughout the video, I'm going to be saying lever open, lever close. When I say open, it's going to mean lever all the way back, and you can see that blade is fully open. That's going to cut the least amount of hair. When I say close, it's going to be all the way forward, and you can see that blade just tucked down. These clippers are zero gap, which means when it's fully closed, it's going to be basically bald. And then there's also halfway. So you're going to want to play with this lever to get your lines out and get your fading done. It's just going to be taking a lot of getting used to in practice. But anyways, the next clipper you're going to need is something to do a lineup or an outliner. This is by ANDIS or ANDIS, however you want to say it. It's a T outliner. You can use any brand of these as long as it gets the job done. This is going to put your first guideline in, your bald guideline, and it's also going to be for lining up any facial hair you have or doing your front lineup, anything like that. And then what you're going to need is, for your fading clippers, you're going to need a set of guards. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be expensive. These are the most basic guards you can get. All you need is guards that fit on your clipper, and you'll get your job done. For this haircut, I'm going to be using mostly the 1 and 2 guards. These are color coded, but usually they're not. They're usually just purple or black, but they'll say 1 or 2 on them, so it's pretty easy to figure out. So you can use 1 and 2, and for the back, I'm using a little bit of the 3. When those guards are on your clipper, that's not going to fade it. You have to still adjust your lever, open and close, halfway, all that, with the guard on to get the clean results that you want. Next thing I'm going to show you is actually optional. You don't need to use this. This is just if you're doing like a bald taper or a skin taper and you want to get completely bald. This is going to get you pretty close to razor bald without using a straight razor. It's electric shaver, or it's called like a foil shaver. This is only if you're doing bald tapers, bald fades, and you want to get that guideline, or you want to get your skin completely bald. The next thing I'm going to show you is a mirror. I know they make self-cut mirrors and stuff, but that'll run you about like 150 bucks. It's pretty expensive, and for beginners, I don't suggest really investing in that. I also don't really suggest doing the back of your hair unless you got some practice under your sleeves, because it's going to be pretty tough. Even for me, I've been doing this for a while, and I still struggle with doing the back. But if you do want to venture into the back, you got to have a mirror, obviously, so you can see, use the mirror behind you, in front of you, and try to fade the back, but it's pretty difficult. The next thing, since my hair is long, it hangs over my lineup, it hangs over the fading area, so you want to use some type of clips. These are just some basic clips. Throw them in your hair, clip it up so you can get to the fading spot. Same thing for the lineup. You want to use some basic hairspray, spray this down. So what this is going to do is make the hair hard, crispy, and also it's going to keep the hair laying down flat so you can hit them with your T outliner. You don't got some wild hairs going everywhere. That's just going to hold them down. But if you're not doing a lineup, like I said, all these steps, you could take it or leave it. They're all optional. If you don't want to do a lineup, you want to keep your hair natural, you don't have to use the spray, obviously. This is just for people that want to do the exact haircut I'm doing. So anyways, I'm going to go through this video. I'm going to show you step by step what you need to do if you want to get that fresh cut. This is the haircut. I finished it. It took me about 45 minutes to do, maybe close to an hour. That's only because I'm messing with the camera and trying to adjust angles. I've never recorded myself doing it before, but if you don't have a camera, you probably get it done in about 45 minutes. Let's get it started. So the first thing I did here was take my fading clippers and put the 1 guard on with the lever open and cut against the grain just to knock down that bulk. I still wanted to keep the lineup dark, but just take down some of that bulk. It's really important that you take your comb. You want to comb all your hair down in one direction, so when you hit it with the clippers, everything's going in the same direction. My T outliners right here, and I'm just lightly tapping my lineup right underneath. You don't want to push anything back or do anything too drastic. You just want to kind of lightly tap the ends of the hair. You want to start right in the middle, work your way to the left or right, and then do the opposite. So start in the middle and go to the opposite side that you started with in the first place. After that, I work the vertical bars. Kind of just want to lightly tap Like I said, you don't want to push anything back. You want to keep it as natural as possible, still giving it that sharp look. Hold the clippers very lightly. The clippers are going to do all your work. You don't want to press anything too tight. You want to let those clippers do the work for you. As you can see, I keep combing down, make sure the hair is going in the right direction. Putting my first bald guideline in. This is the initial guideline using the T-outliners. I'm just going to go right up to the top of my ear. You don't want to go any higher than that for this type of haircut. What I'm doing is using that blade to put almost like a upside down U, or pretty much an arc. So you want to do an arc, but leave it at the top of your ear. Next thing I'm grabbing is my foil shavers. This is just like a basic electric shaver. This is going to get it razor bald. Don't go all the way up to the guideline because you're just going to create another line that's going to be almost impossible to get out. Leave a little bit of stubble before you get to the longer hair. Next step is I'm using the fading clippers with the guard all the way open, and I'm going to go about a ½ inch to a ¼ inch above that first guideline and flick out. Started using the corner of the blade to try to use it almost like an eraser when you don't want to create another guideline. Then I'm going to take the lever, I'm going to put the lever halfway, I'm going to start working on the first guideline I put in there. I'm just going to try to lighten up that guideline in between the first one and the longer hair. I'm slowly moving that lever down to close, and while I do that, I'm also moving the clipper down towards my face. So every time I make the hair shorter, I'm moving it down closer to my first guideline, and just working at it with the clipper, doing some detail work with the corners, and trying to get that line out. Next thing I'm doing right here is I'm taking the clippers fully open with the one guard, so that's basically a 1.5, and I'm going to go up the same amount, so about a ½ inch. I'm going to flick out. This one you really want to make sure you're flicking out, or you're going to create another harsh line that's going to be tough to get out. Same thing, you can use the corner of your clippers when you see some dark spots when you don't want to create another line. Put the 2 guard on, and that's also going to be open at this point, so it's 2.5 because I wasn't sure how short I was going to go, and I'm going to go all the way up to where the longer hair meets the shorter hair, so it makes a more even stretched out blend. And I'm basically just flicking out. This is not going to create a guideline. You don't want to create a line with this. This is solely just for knocking down that bulk. You want to make sure you have a couple different angles you can look at. Step back, take a look in the mirror, make sure you get your angle so you can see some different spots. Same thing here, I'm just constantly adjusting the lever so I can knock down that bulk. Right there, I just saw some spots that was a lot thicker than I wanted, so I put the lever closed and I used the 2 guard to flick out that bulk. Put the 1 guard back on. I think right here I have it open, and I'm just going over some spots that I saw was a little too dark that I couldn't get to with the bigger guard. I'm just trying to get rid of that darkness. Guys, this is going to take a lot of practice and a lot of detail work, so don't rush. Take your time. If you're not happy with how it comes out, just keep working at it. I'm telling you, it'll work out for you. It'll come out fresh. You just got to keep working with the clippers and experimenting with that lever, and the fade should come out pretty smooth. And right here, I'm constantly adjusting the lever up and down, open and close, so I can attack that real dark spot. I'm putting the 2 guard back on, lever fully open, and I'm going to hit that bulk because it's still pretty bulky up near the top. I wasn't happy with how it was coming out, so I just want to hit it one more time, knock it down, and get a little bit shorter. Definitely using the corner here because you don't want to make another guideline that you already erased. This is all fading right here. This is not putting any lines in there.
anything special. This is just trying to get that darkness that I see and attack those angles and those corners. This is the one halfway using the corners. So what I did here is I started doing the back. I wanted to give those clippers a break, and what I like to do is look at it with fresh eyes. I'll turn back around and finish up any detail work that I want to do. If I don't like how something's looking, I'll attack it again, hit it again so it comes out clean. I didn't record the full back because it's the exact same steps that I'm showing you for the sides. It's just a lot harder to do the back. I'm knocking down the bulk with this 2 guard. It's 2 fully open, just knocking down that bulk. If you guys have or want to invest in some cordless clippers, it's definitely helpful for doing the back. That way you don't got to dance around the cord. Attacking that line I see with the 1 guard halfway. I don't want to put any more guidelines in, I'm just trying to fade out that spot. It all comes down to the lever, guys. You got to mess with the lever. Use all the angles of your blade, man. Don't just go straight up, use the corners. I can't stress it enough. Right now I'm just lining up the back. I combed all the hair to the side. I'm just lightly tapping the corners with my blade flat. I'm going over spots if I see anything hanging over. But other than that, guys, I'm just keeping it pretty natural. Hitting it with that foil shaver. After the haircut is done, you're gonna want to comb that hair all down. Check it with your mirror, get some different angles on it, make sure everything's laying the way you want. And that is pretty much it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This is the haircut. It came out pretty clean. I was pretty happy with it. It took me about 45 minutes. I like the results, and you guys could have these same results. You just gotta take your time, don't get frustrated. You don't really have to worry about messing up because we're all on quarantine, guys. So if you do mess up a little bit, no one's gonna see you because we're staying in the house. So it's a perfect time to learn how to do this self-cut. If you did like this video though, do me a favor, it's my first one, give me a like, comment, and hit that subscribe button for me if you want to see some more content. Other than that, guys, stay safe, stay inside, enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you like this video.